Hello folks, we are at Blue Knob Campground in Pennsylvania. It's a state park and it's a pretty nice park. It's way up on a mountain though. I mean, it is miles up on the mountains. There's a ski resort right next to it, and that is the second highest place in Pennsylvania. So we're up here. We're 3,800 feet. I think we might even be up around 5,000 feet. But anyways, the wind is kicking up today. It's pretty cold. It rained last night, and we're under trees, so we got a lot of leaves and acorns and stuff like that. But we're on an electric site, no water. The water is way up in a field over here, so you have to drive to get water, or there is a dump station that has potable water. But give you kind of a look behind me. It's kind of a big loop, and it's got a road through the middle of it. This road goes through the middle of the loop, but on one side of the loop is the outer loop. The outer campsites on the loop are pretty nice. The inner campsites are built up. They look like grave mounds to me, but they're pretty nice. There's people on them, and they like them. Gila, come on. And there's a good group of people here this weekend. It's you know, middle of October, and it's definitely cold and rainy and windy and not ideal conditions. You might hear kids having yipping and hollering in the background. There's a nice, let me show you some of this with the zoom. So these are my neighbors. They got a nice cougar. We're here. We're sharing a driveway with the host, who's interesting. The host has just a regular campsite. They don't have special host sites with extra electricity or cell phone coverage or sewer hookups or water or anything. He's got the same deal everybody else does, which is pretty strange. And he's been here for over 20 years, he says. But these are nice sites. These are down at the very bottom of the hill, and they're a little close, but not bad if you're in a big RV. But they do go back quite a ways, and of course behind you is all forest, so that's really nice. Way down there we got a pop up there, or a hybrid, and then beyond them we got I think that's a caseta. But up the hill, and you're definitely going uphill, and these are the graves. I mean, there's one here and there's one there, and they're just built up. There's, I think, 6 of them going up the hill, and the one way at the top is a really nice site, really big, beautiful site. And it's real close to the bathrooms, which are over there. Bathrooms and dump station is right there where you get water. And then they've got this other loop. This is the bigger loop, and it's got a little playground in it, slide and climbing gym and all that, fort stuff. And there's, in the middle of this, there's sites, mounds. They've turned into sites up there. So this is the road coming in to around the loop. We'll take you on a tour with the GoPro on the car. But one of the things about Pennsylvania is they have specific dog sites. So you can't have a dog in a non-dog site, and you have to pay for your dog, of course. There's an extra charge for your dog, extra charge for everything. But they do give a senior discount. You need to come inside, it's cold out there. Wind's blowing pretty good, and it's pretty exposed, and it's real wet, real damp, high humidities. The boys underneath the table here, we modified the table. These campers come with these great big columns holding up the table. I don't understand why that's an idea. So we took the columns out and we put a support on the back here, and then there's one tiny little leg in the front, and he just walks around and lays down on a nice bed under there. So he's got a good setup, except he still likes to be up on the bed with me. He's mad at me though because he had some really bad gas. He's had some real runny poops and stuff. So I gave him a metronidazole, whatever it is, it's known as Flagyl. That helps quite a bit for diarrhea in dogs, but I gave him one of those and he didn't want to take it, so he chewed it up. And they don't taste good at all, so he's really quite mad at me. But this is a nice park. It's a little expensive, like all the state parks and all the stuff, but they have a huge hiking trail map, and really I think the park is kind of geared towards cross-country skiing. It's got some trails that are 20 or 30 miles long, and they go over these hills, so I think it's mostly for cross-country skiing, though we're going to hike a couple of them. There's also horse trails and snowmobile trails and all that. I didn't think Pennsylvania got that much snow, but I suppose maybe way up here in the mountains they do. So, to give you a rundown of the campsites that I really like, and again, these are just my opinions. I don't like being out in the open. I don't like being where there's no trees. I got this companion here who seems to think he has to water every tree, and he won't pee if he doesn't have trees around. So the middle of the loop, which is all beautiful terraced sites, is pretty nice, but I wouldn't pick those. So none of those, except for there's one that's way up in the middle of the whole thing next to the playground. So if you've got kids, that's a great site. In the middle of the summer it's probably going to be hot, but hopefully you've got electric up there and you've got air conditioning. So let's start. Number one is at the very top of the hill just as you come in, and it's a really nice big all by itself campsite. And then you go down past the dump station and you've got 43, which is a great big all by itself site. That's a nice site. And then 46 is the next one on the outside of the loop, and that's a pretty nice site. Now these are between the road and the brush, so they're not big wide sites, but they're fairly deep sites in there all by themselves. 47 is a pull through, and it's just on the side of the road and you just drive around, so that's a pretty nice site. 48 is the next one, and that's nice. My site is 19. I don't think it's a very good site, especially because you're next to the host. You're sharing the driveway with the host. So he comes and goes all the time, and he's got that silly little buggy that's... But next to me is 20 and 21. They're really nice sites. They're in the woods. And then way down, way deep in the woods is 22. That's got the little caseta on it, and that's a great big site way down in the woods, real flat and nice. Little kind of steep driveway to get into it, but I don't think it'd be a problem for most rigs. And then going back around up the outside of the far loop, 24, 26, 7, 8, and 9 are all pretty nice sites. So that's my list of sites. Hopefully the crawl across the top gave them all in there, and any site is good. You can't really get a bad site here, but just remember, you do have to have a dog site if you have a dog, and if you don't have a dog, you might not want a dog site, because that means that you're going to have dogs on either side of you. Let's go out and take a hike, and we'll show you what's in the woods around here. Here's a little lookout with some very interesting trees. You know, if the wind stops blowing and the rain stops, this becomes a really neat spot. Here's the hills of the Appalachians in Pennsylvania. Now we're in Chapel Field, which is right outside the entrance to the campground. And this is the ski hill right next to us. And that's the second highest part in all of Pennsylvania. So we're up here and it's windy. And you can climb up to that tower up there. They call it Radio Tower Road or something. Can you see that? And there we go. Walking the 26-mile Turkey Trail, the Lost Turkey Trail, looking for this monument. We finally found it. The dogs have been fighting over sticks the whole time.
Those skinny chicken legs.
Akila, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Get out of the water. Come on. I don't normally just review these things and ask you to buy them, but this is from CGI. This is a table. And this is the most incredible table you will ever see. It folds up flat like this, and you just open it up like this. And it's upside down, but you just open it up like that. Bring these two pieces up like this. There we go. It's up. Lock. Lock it. And this is ready for, and a lot of people, you'll see other YouTubers using this for their Blackstone grills. And it's got neat little things on the side that come up. And again, you lock them in, and they're there. And there's even a second layer. There's even a second layer if you need it. So, now, most people might use that with a Blackstone grill, but you know, a Blackstone grill costs about $250. So I'm cheap. So for $35, I went to Walmart and got this wonderful Presto grill, which is all electric. Sits right here and works just fine. The table runs about $100, which isn't too bad. But there'll be a link at the bottom below the description if you're interested, because this is the best table I have ever seen for camping. And when you're done using it, a couple days later, you just pop down the side tables, brush off the leaves. Pop down the top. And it folds right back into a flat, easy to store little table. And it even has a handle for carrying it. So this is a pretty neat table. So if you're interested, there's a link below in the description. And I love mine. I won't ever be without it now. The Blue Knob State Park has a lovely pool. I'm not sure why it's closed at the end of October. Akila's all excited. He thinks he wants to go swimming in it. It's a nice swimming pool. It's got a bathhouse up here. Oh. Oh, it's just a changing room. Bathhouse. Not a real big parking area, but it doesn't look too bad. All right, we're hiking the Rock Ridge Trail on Sunday. It's 43 degrees and windy, but hopefully in the woods it won't be so windy. Well, we got onto a power line trail, but then we got to this. So we're back into the woods. Well, I think we're at the top of the ridge. Boy, the wind is just wicked up here, but we're in the dense forest, so it's not bad where we are. I don't see any mushrooms anywhere. Akil is finding a lot of deer poop because he likes to taste it. That's Taylor saying hi. Even the young ones are having a little fatigue going up this hill. We're having fun though, but the wind is getting worse in the trees. Got good video of me throwing snot rockets up the trail. It's been a great hike, but look at this. This is a pretty tall, mature forest. I wish I could come back in 40 years and see if these trees are all the same size still. This is pretty cool. This is obviously something that was built by the CCC. It's a little rainwater thing, but it's a kind of a rock garden here. All right, we're in the middle of the forest. We're just below the big group camp, and then here's a picnic area way down in the woods in the middle of nowhere. Looks a little old. This is a very fun trail, but an awful lot of it is typical Pennsylvania trails where there's just bands of rocks. This big, massive rock climbs over. I mean, they're not big rocks, but they're just big portions of cobblestones you have to walk over. Ankle biting type of rocks. We're having fun. Well, folks, it is time for us to leave Blue Knob State Park in Pennsylvania. This has been a wonderful camping trip. This is a park with a lot of opportunity to go hiking and sightseeing, and there's interesting things in the park. I would say though, I would not, and I repeat, I would not suggest an A-liner come here. The wind at the top of this mountain is never ending. Afraid that the A-liner might blow apart, but it's pretty cold. We had a cold front go through, and we got a lot of rain on Friday. Then Saturday was just beautiful, and Sunday was gorgeous. And it never stopped blowing. I mean, it was blowing hard for 25 miles an hour with 35-mile-an-hour gusts. And we are up in the hills, so I would not suggest an A-liner come here. But it was a great trip. We did lots of hiking. Hope you saw that in the video. And I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't. Don't know why you wouldn't. Hope you leave me a comment. I get to meet you guys and know you by your comments. So please leave me a comment, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.